Winner bracket semifinal, third qualifier of Meta Madness, everybody. So we are back to business. Let's go. Third qualifier means few more bans. In the second qualifier we had 8 bans. Now in the third qualifier that number has already been increased to 12. So we have Lucio, Tracer, Sergeant Hammer and Abathon are also completely banned from this qualifier and the rest of the tournament. And of course heroes can also be played only once within a series. Now we have a best of 3 in our hands. Team Ash is going up against the Raiders. This is the first winner bracket semi-final, by the way. Now, the prize money for the entire event, for the main event, is still $2,000. Again, put the prize money up myself since we don't have a big name sponsor here this time. And, well, for now we have some crazy qualifiers already, and I hope that this one is going to be as good as the previous two. Obviously, now with more heroes being banned out, things get interesting a lot quicker. And we'll see what exactly the Raiders can now do against Team Ash, who had a pretty decent run so far. Now we get a quick ban against Maiev. That's the first thing that happens. Trying to shut bishops down a bit, I suppose. And Chromie gets banned against Nano. Yeah. Don't really blame them for that. It's been interesting to watch just over the last 2 tournaments how the ban patterns change a little bit with every single new pre-banned hero that comes in. So yeah, now we're up to 12, meaning going into game number 2, 22 heroes are going to be unavailable. If there is a third map in this best of 3, it would mean that 32 heroes are unavailable before we're even entering the third draft. And as usual, the grand final of the qualifier will be a best of 5 series. Now, I talked about this a little bit, but just a quick reminder, for the grand finals in the qualifiers, we are also predetermining the starting map. So we did it for the first qualifier, it was Haunted Mines. In the second qualifier, the grand final started on Blackheart's Bay. And now here in the third qualifier, I believe it's Hanamura that we're starting things on. So just as a little bit of a side note there for you guys. Okay, Sonya gets banned. Alright, and we get our first pick straight into Sylvanas. We start again on Garden of Terror. And this is, I believe, a map that Team Ash has now picked multiple times. Because the last series that we casted from them in the round of 8 also started on Garden of Terror. And if I am not mistaken, back then they also were not first pick. So meaning they chose the map. And it just seems to be generally a map that they want to play. Greymane, Dehaka would be good options now when we're talking about possible picks. Yeah, Dehaka it is, and instead of going for Greymane right away, they're actually looking in false step for Bishop. So now we are looking at a team that plays on one of the biggest maps in the pool. A double global right off the bat. Not too shabby. So if you want to play macro, this is definitely the way to go about it. That also leads us into the next double pick here. And that's my immediate question. Do you now pair Greymane with Sylvanas and not only try to get those mercenary cramps quickly, but also maybe take some of the structures down with that? Mal'Ganis and Rhaegar instead. Rhaegar, of course, offers also additional wave clear and clear on mercenary camps. Can also do that solo in a more reasonable time frame than most supports. I mean, basically, with every single hero that you have in a game, or most of them, you can take a camp solo. The big question is always, how long is it gonna take you? And Rhaegar, when it comes to supports, is still one that has the most reusable time frame. You also can help others take it a lot faster. Lightning Shield, obviously, being a big deal there. Which means that on Garden of Terror, it's a great map for him. Now, as is, we're getting Junkrat banned out. And now my question would rather be, what else are they trying to get rid of? Okay, they're getting rid of Mirrored in here. Not quite sure if that was really on the forefront for me. But okay. I'm a bit more interested in the second damage. Because again, you could pick Greymane on both sides. That's the thing. So, yeah. God of Terror, again, big map. They already have a lot of clear that they need. There's Tyrande, okay. And we get ETC. That's a bit reminiscent of what they did in the previous game, sorry, the previous series, where they played triple frontline with ETC as a side laner. And I'm not quite sure if they had their Haka there as well, but they played 3 melees. So ETC wasn't even the main tank. They could always use him as a main tank here, but there's also a chance that they're going to get somebody else on the last pick and then try and play around the damage coming from Hunter's Mark, Falstad, and of course the melee is ganking up on the target too. I think last time they locked in Imperius for added damage. Now we get Leoric and we get Jaina for the Raiders. Alright. Also pretty alright. We have... I mean, I don't really think we're going to get a ring. Likely Water Elemental. But you could go into Entomb plus ring. You could set up Mal'Ganis with some nice sleeps and then use Jaina to lock the target down. So there's a couple of things that they could do if they wanted to look into wombos. Don't really think that it's likely to happen, but still a strong draft with a good synergy for them. And we get Bambi, we get Lunara again for Team Ash. Alright, game number 1 everybody. We're going once again to Garden of Terror. Game number 1. So, first of all, again, the quick note that Blizzard patching things has done exactly what it usually does. It made things worse. So now the UI that we normally use for casting has been bugged out because they changed some stuff again. And until it's fixed, we have to go into Blizzard's Observer UI. It's not as good. It's unfortunately not that great, but it's the compromise that we're going for, at least for today. With a little bit of luck, we can go back to the better Observer interface tomorrow, but at the latest I would expect that next week for the 4th qualifier we can do that. Now over on the left side, again, we got the blue team here. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why this UI sucks. This talent panel is just ridiculous. Yeah, I talked about some of the disadvantages in the other games, but yeah, it is what it is. So, with that, we now have currently on level 1 the Lingering Chill for Jaina. We also have again the Totem set up for Rhaegar. Nothing crazy. Awesome's Renewal for Leo. The normal talents that you would expect here. Maybe the one thing that we should highlight a little bit is that we have Block Party for ETC, so he didn't go into his stacking quest. He's not playing this around with his normal globe talents or anything. And Bishops is already getting some mad value up at the top thanks to the globals that they're running here. Keep in mind that they're playing a double global. They got Falstad and they have Dehaka. So if they can open the map up a bit, if some forts get destroyed on both sides, then they can do probably a lot just controlling the lanes with the two of them. But Dehaka also might just have been a bit too greedy there. No, they actually get the kill. Yeah, Team Ash! It was a bait all along. They dangled the Haka into their face and told them, look guys, don't you want to kill the dinosaur? And then they lost Jaina. So Jaina is gone. She's eliminated. And it's time for camps. 1 minute mark is in. It's time to get a couple of camps here. All the way at the top. Bishops, of course, still controlling this well. He wants to take a few of these towers down. There's no reason why he wouldn't be able to do that. Mal'Ganis is now coming in, trying to stop him. But this is already looking very good, at least early on, for Team Ash. I mean, they are in the driver's seat. They're making some nice plays with their globals, which I kind of like. They go for their camps too. First tower has already been destroyed. They are a bit ahead in experience. They got the first kill. So as far as these incremental advantages go, Team Ash is building up quite a few. Now, don't forget that the Raiders had, particularly in the first qualifier, an absolutely amazing run. And did not only dominate the winner bracket, but had also a very good standing there in the grand final. But can they repeat that? That's the question. What kind of position are they going to get in as we're heading closer towards the playoffs? Teams are fighting again for the camp. Another drag connects with the Haka, and the camp is taken by the red team. If they get out now without losing anyone, that would already be great. If they can kill someone, that would be even better. Losing 2, on the other hand, negates everything they just worked for. So, yeah, both teams dropping insanely low very quickly with their hit point pool. But it is the blue team that locks in a double kill. So they are able to take out ETC and Dehaka, and that makes up for them losing the camp. To an extent, at least, I'd say. They still have to, of course, defeat the camp now. Have to deal with that, but they're also in a position where they can grab the first seed. So now they have that. Yep, we are back in Tomb of the Spider Garden. Tomb of the Garden Curse. They're getting the tribute, the seed, to get the web weavers, Garden Terrors. Totally different thing. Not the same at all. Not the same whatsoever. Blizzard didn't just get lazy and put the same objective onto a different map and just give it a different name. Nah. They would never do that. They would never do that. They literally just combined 2 objectives. They're like, what can we do there? But yeah. So, level 7 talent's about to kick in. I mean, one of the fun stories is still that what Tim basically told back then about it being called the Garden Horrors back then. And they had to rename it because, yeah, it started to sound a little bit funny if you say it a bit too often. Look at those garden whores. There's so many of them on this map. There's a garden whore at the top, there's a garden whore in the middle. All those garden horrors. So yeah, I think garden terrors made it a little bit better. But one of my favorite alpha stories from Tim. Again, Trixler was initially a community manager for Blizzard back then. So, kill after kill is now coming in. Both of the teams are starting to get heavily aggressive. Not only did the blue team get that double kill earlier, but the red team has started to bring it back. So we have 4 kills to 3 now. Top side, another camp is about to be claimed, and Swamgrotta is a bit too late to do anything about it. Not that he could. Can't really go 1 versus 2 here. Instead, he needs to head back quickly so that he doesn't lose all of his hit points, or most of them, and is then useless in a potential fight or potential delay that he could go for. But yeah, so we got level 10 abilities kicking in next. Right now, both teams are on level 7, of course. And with that, we got the choke and pollen again for Lunara. Yep. Morena sitting at the side here, just hoping that he anticipates Leoric's movements properly. If he connects Tong at that stage, then yeah, they can of course quickly get themselves a neat little extra kill. But yeah, not yet. So instead what we're getting is still the globals trying to of course counterplay this. I'm just waiting for some of the forts to be destroyed so that the global plays that we're seeing from Team Ash can be a bit more impactful. ETC of course, just to add that real quickly to the theory crafting, has a chance. Oh, that's a dead birdie. Chicken wings right there. But what I was about to say is ETC could technically also go into stage dive and add another global to the equation, but since they already have 2, he goes for the party time. Okay, so, oh, good Ancestral. Nice Ancestral, but it might not be enough. The Tong is still connected. Nano is in trouble and in the corner, and he dies. So did Sylvanas. They get a double kill. Nicely done. So 2 of them eliminated very quickly. The third one falling shortly after that, since Rhaegar got targeted too. That's 7 kills, 2-4. Seed is up. That would be the second one for Team Ash if they're gonna get it. And they can still pressure at the bottom of the map if they so desire. So another great fight for Team Ash, and they're just extending the lead in kills. 7 kills, 2-4, and a bit of an experience lead. Plus they got the seed, so already more than worth it. As long as they don't lose anyone now down at the bottom of the map. So Lopaka still poking, prodding. With level 10, we could see the next big fight happening there too. And yeah, let's see. This is, by the way, a little bit, I mean, okay, this is too pink. Some of the tints over here, I don't know. This is an assault on the eyes. I mean, look at this. Don't tell me if you don't look at that for too long, your eyes aren't bleeding. I mean, hello? Okay, Nano has paused the game. I actually respect that. The reason why he paused the game right now is because he knew the second that he pauses the game, you know, there's a little bit of a tin coming over. So, there, yeah, he just wanted to make sure that I'm not burning my eyes out, just watching that mount in all its glory. So now that little gray screen that came over it is just way better. And this is much better on the eyes. So, not quite sure if anybody dropped here or what exactly is going on. Maybe just some problems again with voice as usual. Either Discord or maybe some of their hardware screwing up. I'm actually really surprised. I have now for the second time a wireless mouse, and I was one of the... It's kind of interesting because there was always a debate going on for a long time whether wireless mice and keyboards in esports are actually anything that should exist. And when you are in the RTS and the mobile realm, I think we haven't, at least I haven't really caught up on some of the developments that happened there. And these days, wireless mice and keyboards are actually insanely reliable. And in the FPS sector, they've been played for quite some time. So it's an interesting discussion, at least if you're one of the old souls that, you know, grew up with esports. Because back then, we would have never allowed for a wireless mouse or a keyboard to touch our desk, simply because you want that reliability in a tournament. And these days, this has all changed. So it's an interesting discussion, and it popped up a couple of times this year for me in particular. in multiple occasions. I think for a lot of people, you know, that grew up with those devices that are maybe a little bit younger, it's completely different. But yeah, back in the day, you would have never used a wireless mouse. And these days, they are so reliable that they're just absolutely fantastic. And then you don't have to deal with all of those cables anymore. So it's pretty interesting. I still have some friends that are just rejecting anything that doesn't have a wire just out of hand. They're just saying like, yeah, no, not happening. I'm a gamer. I need that cable. But yeah, a lot of these things have come a long way. I'm pretty impressed by this. So yeah. And also, what really impressed me too is the battery life. I have that super light from Logitech right now, and the battery on these things is insane. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. I was very pleasantly surprised by that. I guess these guys were a little bit surprised by the ETC party, but Sven at least wasn't caught, and that wailing arrow shot that down. But still, Jaina dies regardless, and they already lost Rhaegar a bit earlier, so without sustain, without any damage, they're now also losing Leo. That's 10 kills to 3, and I gotta give it to Team Ash here. They are just coming in time and time again with one teamfight victory after another. And in the early game, that wasn't a big deal, but now that the death timers are increasing, it's starting to become more and more of a problem. It isn't getting helped by the fact that they have also the globals. So they have all the trump cards in their hands right now. That means the first objective is accomplished. We're gonna get a lot of garden horrors on the map. And yeah, garden terrors, Sora, my bad. And that should remove a fort or two at least. So let's see how this is going to work for them now, because I would be very much surprised if they didn't get a huge head start now. And I've been highlighting this at the beginning of the game, that once that the map opens up a little bit and some of these forts are being destroyed, the value that you get from... Oh my god, no! Jeez! Team Ash going through the Raiders like hot butter through cheese as they take down Jaina and Sylvanas. That is ruthless. Also, Jaina completing her quest, and as they think they can get a kill, they come in and they're like, not happening, you're not getting any kills today. Instead, you're gonna get wiped. 5-man team wipe. The entire team gone, absolutely demolished. 15 kills to 4. All the forts destroyed, and now they're going up to the top. That is nasty shit. I mean, damn son. That fight was so brutal for the Raiders. That hurt to watch. Totally insane. So the entire map is opened up now. Globals should be able to get more and more value here now too. And it's... if you're a Raiders fan, you are having a tough time now. Because, yeah, all the forts are gone, some of the walls of the keeps are opened up. There's a 2-level advantage already for Team Ash. And, of course, the talent advantage on top of that, too. It's kind of cute how he thinks he trapped Tyrande in an entomb. Instead, it's just he who traps himself, gets baited. I mean, it's not that bad, but still. You get what I'm saying here. They are just struggling. Now Leo is going with his 13 and 16, as you can see at the top, into the normal Ghost build. So going for Royal Focus and Ominous Wraith. Imposing Presence by ETC and Power from Tyrande on 16 now. And yeah, Falstad also kind of interesting here. With the level 16 choice, going for a bit of repositioning. I mean, Afterburner is honestly going to help you quite a bit if you are particularly trying, you know, during fights or something. If you're trying to play the global and not trying to get out. So that can help you a lot. And they're diving in again. They go for Sven and they get the kill. Now the birdie might actually fall here. Yep, they get bishops. But while all of this happens, Lunara took another camp down at the bottom of the map. So even when the blue team is getting a bit of a win and gets a kill, they are starting to lose some ground elsewhere on the map. And it is likely going to cost them 2 towers now. So it's not Lord of the Rings or anything, but yeah, 2 towers are going to fall anyways. So that's just what it is. Both of them are going to get destroyed here. Both? One? Doesn't really matter. Even if this one survives. Has barely any hit points left. Now talking damage, we have 33,000 for Lunara, we get 24,000 for Jaina. So these are the top damage dealers on each team right now. And the fight continues, with the blue team not having a whole lot of heroes up here at the top, so they gotta be very careful. They got the seed at least, so that's good news. No, actually they didn't, did they? Am I kinda crazy? They didn't, right? They had 2 seeds before. Did the red team lock one in? Honestly, I don't really know. We just had a set of Garden Terror, so it might be that the red team got this one after all. But anyways, next seed that gets grabbed by the blue team is going to give them an objective themselves. And honestly, that would be something that could... gets a quick smooch from the owl and loses 20% of the hit points. But basically what I was trying to say is if they get the objective, if they get some Garden Terrors in, maybe they got a chance, you know, to slowly bring this back. Because currently I'm very worried that the blue team might never really get a fighting chance with the situation as is, because of the 2 globals, because of level 20 that arrives in half a level, and the catapults that will slowly and steadily get stronger too, which is of course another problem too. So, yeah. But again, Storm Talons, any moment now. They're taking the fight potentially before those are in. Red team wants the... Well, blue team wants the fight. ETC! Comes in, gets the party, opens the mosh pit up, and they get the kill. Leo is down, so is Sylvanas, but they also lost Falstad. Tyrande might fall, but before she dies, it's the end of Jaina. Yeah, these fights are just not working out for the Raiders. Every single time that they're trying, every single time it looks like they might have a chance to turn it around, they're getting very quickly murdered. 5-man team wipe. The entire team is gone. Level 20 is in, and as you can tell, they want to go for keep and core. Core might not be in the cards yet. They just don't have enough pressure on structures, but they will take at least one keep down. They might get another one. Leo is also a bit in trouble there, but is still able to ghost back out. But the death timers are nowhere near where they need to be in order to go for the core directly. Or so I thought, but apparently they disagree. So Sylvanas is already back. Jaina's back any second. Leo is still alive. No, he's not alive. So yeah, he's gone. But can they go for core? I do not think so. Yeah, they let this one slide for now. Yeah, for just a second I was like, are they really trying to end here? With death timers as they are? And no. There's too much on the map that they can take. There's a couple of camps that they can claim. And there's also, of course, the objective itself that they can easily now lock in. And yeah, then make their play there. But as is, it's looking extremely good for Team Ash. Particularly since the Raiders need an entire level until they finally have their Storm Talons. Until then, there is gonna be another seed on the map, and this would be the 3rd one now for Team Ash as well. So Team Ash has they have an absolute chance to go for another set of Garden Terrors. And that's already bad enough as is. I mean, think about it. That would be the 2nd one in a row for the red team. So, yeah. All the way up at the top right, Dehaka is going to be able to grab another camp for them. Blue team is literally pinned down. And now they're in that spot where they have to make a shitty decision. Do they either face off against Garden Terrors, or do they fight against an opponent who has a level 20 talent advantage over them? No matter what you do, you're kind of screwed. So, what's the choice? I don't know, but I guess they are going to just sit there, let it happen, let the red team walk away with another objective, and hope that they get level 20 at least for defense. Pretty much the only thing that they can really hope for. Camps are getting stolen away from them easily, and yep, they're gonna let this slide. So the entire map is already pinning them down. Morenas has to be a bit careful over here. Yep, takes them on one after another. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another set of Garden Terrors, and all the lanes are pushed out. There's camps pushing already. Yeah, good luck trying to defend against that. I mean, some of those keeps are going to be destroyed for sure, but of course the goal here is to take the core down, and this is exactly what Team Ash is going to be looking for. So, 22 kills to 6. This tells you all there's to tell. When it comes to team fights, the blue team is not only struggling, they are getting destroyed. So, they need to turn it around. They need to turn it around right now. They got level 20. That gives us the upgrade for the Ancestral. Farseer's Blessing is in. And Tomb also upgrading to a Buried Alive. That could potentially help. We have Wintermute for Jaina. But you gotta do something here. And you gotta do it now, or you're gonna get just murdered. The top keep is already gone. Keep in the middle is still getting poked out. Core is getting attacked soon, TM. And they're just playing really slowly around all of this. But there's 2 Garden Terrors on the core. And of course the goal is to just take at least the keep down, the final one. But they have a chance for a kill right here, right now. And they take it. That's the end of Jaina. The core is already losing hit points as is, but at least as a counter kit. So Turan is eliminated. Tyrande is gone, and neither the Keep nor the Core have fallen yet. So all they got in this one is a little bit of core damage. They did a lot of damage on the mid lane Keep, but they didn't take it out, and they lost one Keep at the top. So, not great, but I expected them to lose the game here. And if not, then I expected Team Ash to walk away with all Keeps destroyed. And we're not quite there. So, maybe? I'm a sucker for a good comeback. I mean, who isn't, right? But that would be a miracle comeback. Look at the minimap. All the forts are still standing for Team Ash. Every single one of them. And you're going up against 2 globals. So, yeah, they need lane pressure. They need something here. And I'm not sure how they are going to bring it back from this position. Over here, up at the top, bit of an attack is already happening as Falstad is saying hello quickly to Rhaegar. But yeah, it doesn't really change the fact. You look at the damage output and you know where we're at. 39,000 for Jaina. There's 3 heroes over on the red team side that have the same damage output or more. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, 4. Everyone with the exception of ETC. And ETC has... I mean, the damage numbers are just nuts. In team fights, the red team is doing so much better. It's ridiculous. And again, this is the team that has 2 globals. They are the ones that have Dehaka and Falstad, so they have a macro advantage as well. Now, the seed is spawning, and this is pretty much the moment where you have to make a move. Lunara is, by the way, the only one in this game that hasn't died yet. Only hero that hasn't fallen once. But this is the only opportunity. And this is really where Falstad and Dehaka, for example, could just push for the top lane. People could poke a little bit here. Lunara in particular with Thornwood Vines. And, yeah, eventually someone of the blue team would have to move back. As is, I mean, again, they might let this one happen. And it seems like they're okay with it. The Owl comes out again, gets another interrupt. Dehaka is still pushing the top side out over here in the middle. Falstad, he's flying back out. Has also, interrupted too late, but went into his Epic Mount. So Epic Mount, given the situation they're in, is actually a great talent to have. And there's the first kill, there's the second. Rhaegar's down, so is Sylvanas. They're going for Jaina. She's gonna die too. And I suppose this is the end of the game. Unless there's gonna be a few kills for the Raiders now with the final 2 heroes that they have. There's just no chance of saving this anymore. And it doesn't look like it. They're going to lose at least Morganis here. Leo is also in trouble. The entire 5-man can go towards the core and then just end it. Garden Terrors or no Terrors, it doesn't matter anymore. Down here, yes, they're going to get some damage done. Rest is being pushed back, but just look at Falstad. With Epic Mount, he already finds himself quickly in the middle. So now he can easily go for core. And that is the lead in the series. That's the lead for Team Ash in this winner bracket semi-final. Blue team goes down in flames. The Raiders, they're losing a Garden of Terror. Again, best of 3 series, so still plenty of time to turn it around, but at least initially Team Ash is, as mentioned, taking the lead in this match.
So, a quick reminder before we're jumping into the second game of the series, guys. Once again, until the 8th of December, we have a cooperation going on with Raid Shadow Legends where you can support the stream for completely free. As you know, I'm hosting Meta Madness myself. I put the prize money up and everything. So if you guys want to support this a little bit, if you want to help me to host more tournaments like this in the future, you can now do that for free just by playing a game while you're actually watching the stream, for example, or while you're watching the VODs. There's a link in the description to Raid Shadow Legends. All that you gotta do is download the game and then play through the tutorial. And if you're extra generous with your time and you really want to help the stream, you can play the account to level 10 or play the account to level 25. That would even be better. We also have a clan. I'll link it in the description too if you guys want to check it out a bit more. Again, I've been playing the game for a while, but if you just want to support the stream a little bit, download the game through the link, play through the tutorial, and that would already help. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening and enjoy game number 2.
Well, Sky Temple, map number 2. Team Ash has taken the lead in pretty impressive fashion on Garden of Terror. And now they chose the map, and they actually went for Sky Temple. So, well, I don't know, but Sky Temple being the second map, I get the feeling that Team Ash is going for... I don't want to call it the weirdo maps, but not many teams pick Garden of Terror as their starting map, and not many teams would pick Sky Temple this early in a series. But they seem to be doing that quite a bit and enjoying it too. So... we'll see if that trend continues throughout the tournament, maybe even into the next one. Either way, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again. And of course, these 12 heroes are still banned for the entire thing. So with that, 22 heroes are already unavailable here as we're going into our second map. But I'm a little bit worried for the Raiders because they didn't really look good in on the first map. I mean, maybe it's, you know, just one of these games where like the map doesn't really work out, your draft doesn't work out, your opponent gets momentum, you have problems fighting back. But it's enough to worry me at least a bit, because Team Ash was just dominating a lot of these fights, and it was, yeah, a bit too much. Vikings get banned out. I'm still looking at this and thinking that Samuro should be banned by Team Ash. There is a chance that Sven is picking up Samuro. There's a chance. So would be one. If they already are willing to ban the Vikings, then maybe dealing with Samuro would also be an option. Honestly, for a little bit of that, I was also thinking, yeah, if they get Samuro, they can add Abatha. That's going to be really annoying. And then I think 20 seconds later, I was like, Abatha? It's like, oh damn, Abatha's now permabanned. And it's like, yeah, he was still available in qualifier number 2, but now he's permabanned as well. Quick side note, by the way, some of the heroes that are permabanned right now will be available. I like it, Samuro ban, for the reasons mentioned. But some of the heroes that are permabanned right now will be vetoed for the playoffs. So there is still a rule that the people that support the stream the most during the qualifiers and gift subs to the Twitch channel, that the top 3 of them, they can save a hero. So we had this in, I think, the last 2 or 3 Meta Madness or something that people requested. So don't be surprised when you now have some heroes that are permabanned and 3 of them are then available again in the playoffs. That's the reason why, just so you guys have a bit of an idea there. I want to warn you early because I know this question is going to come up eventually. So for all the players currently out there that love one of the heroes that is permabanned over here, there's still a chance that the hero makes it into the actual event. So Chen and Mirrodin are being picked early. I love that we get more Chen. Chen is fun if you can play him well, and we've seen cool Chen plays. I have to personally highlight the matches that were played in the last 3 matches that were played in the Korean tournament. If you haven't seen those yet, you can check them out on YouTube. There's a playlist for it as well. But Capybara played Chain main tank multiple times and did it really well, and it paid off perfectly for them. So when it comes to Chen performances, I would definitely look towards him and the plays that were made there in Korea, which was kind of nice. But Johanna and Cassia are now banned out, so we have, picked. The last ban is coming in, and they're really just targeting Sven over here. Obviously, the Vikings and Samuro were heavily targeted towards him, but now they're also putting Malthael into the game. So, yeah. And the final ban for map number 2. Well, they're getting rid of... I mean, they could target bishops. They already took Cassia for Nano. Falset has been played. Bishops is actually, I don't want to say running out of heroes, but the ones that he's really known for are slowly getting removed here. Banning Junkrat makes sense, but Bishops can't play Hanzo. He's permabanned. Maiev is taken away from him. Cassia is taken away from him. Chromie... I mean, Chromie was still available, I believe. So that's still an option. But, yeah. A lot of the ones that he usually would go for aren't here yet. I mean, Lunara is another example. Already played her in game number 1, so she can't be played again. But, well, with Sky Temple, we get Anna and we get Chromie. There she is. Okay, the Chromester is in the house. Gets a bit of a nano boost, as it seems, from Anna. Renella rocking that. That leaves us with our final 2 picks for the blue team. We're going to finally find out what Sven is going to pick. Again, he is the one that they targeted the most during the bans. Every single ban they had was targeting the side laners. And I still have hopes that somebody might go a bit wild here. But probably not. Sky Temple, we get Whitemane, and we get Sonya. So, okay. Whitemane and Sonya to round out the draft for the Raiders. Give me that tether into a leap. That's what we need. Maiev and Sonya working in tandem, locking targets down. Blessed Shield as a follow-up. Bam, there's the Condemn. And then everybody just explodes and dies as Cassia comes in with the damage. A man can dream. That would be that would be a bit too epic. But okay, our final pick for map number 2. Again, Team Ash is in the lead, so there's their chance. It's their match point. They have a chance to move to the winner bracket final as they pick Urel on the final choice. Sky Temple, everybody. Let's go.
I would prepare
Raiders against Ash, and we are on the second map. On the left side, we get Swamp Grotta on Maiev, Nano on Cassia, Johan on Jojo, and Sven on Sonia. Somebody call it Svenja. It's actually perfect. So yeah, we have Svenja and we have Ixia on Whitemane. As over on the right side of the map, Team Ash with Renella on Anna, Morenas on Chen, Shizakid on Muradin. We got Lopaka on Chromie and Bishops on Urel. When I was a kid, we actually had a neighbor, and she was a couple of years older than I was, and I mean, I was pretty young back then. Honestly, I'm hesitant to give you an age, but somewhere like maybe 5, 6, I don't know. And I told Svenja that I wanted to marry her, which was pretty cute because she must have been like, honestly, I can't really remember most of this, but I remember the name. Because there is a fairy tale. I don't know if it's a German fairy tale, I don't think so. Ronja, die Räubertochter. And the name Svenja reminded me of Ronja, so yeah, that's why I remember that. It's weird what you honestly remember from your childhood. There's like only like a couple of things most of the time that really stick with you. But I remember that when I was very, very young, I wanted to marry Svenja. Who I haven't seen in 35 years. So yeah, that definitely was never gonna happen. But yeah. Did she say yes? No, she laughed. Again, I was a cute little boy. I had hair back then, so you know, looked cuter and everything. Alright, top side we got our Svenja going up against Morenas here. So Svenja against Chen. And down at the bottom of the map, it is all about the mercenary camps. Get those siege giants. Get them going. Throw some rocks. And hope to break through some of the structures already early on. Jojo on level 1 with a flashlight. Unfortunately, no stacking for Cassia either. Not that we can keep track of it, because, you know, Blizzard's own UI doesn't support their talent mechanics that they introduced to the game. So there's that. And both already working on the Bruiser camp. So, down to the bottom of the map, we currently have Urel just jumping around a bit and taking the siege giants out quickly. Ixia with his Whitemane is already trying to make their life a little bit harder. And I love that Shizakid is... Oh, misses the Stormbolt. I was just about to praise him and say like, yep, nice move to slow down Whitemane a little bit, and then he misses the Stormbolt. But they can still go for Cassia. And Nano is dodging everything he can, but now at least he gets some help with Whitemane, but that was a bit annoying, at least initially. So level 4 talents are kicking in. Hand of Freedom for Urel. Freedom! The usual. And up at the top now they can try and maybe push for some of those outer structures, get a tower to destroy it before you go for the objective. Obviously the first objective is a double temple. Middle and top lane are going to spawn here. And here we go. So, quick Stormbolt, Iron Skin was already out. Svenja has in the meantime taken the camp. The Bruiser camp. And nice timing on that one too, so it's gonna help with the defense a bit, and it's gonna push the lane back out. Temples are activating in 4, and then we're gonna see which team is starting to take the lead on structures. But yeah, we have still Urel down at the bottom of the map. There's always the race for level 7. You kind of want to get to level 7 on the first objective as quickly as you can. With this being the Sky Temple, I don't really think that anybody is really looking at a big lead that they can utilize there. You can always rotate around your opponent a little bit and instead get shots at the other temple, which hasn't happened here yet either. But level 7 is normally not quite as impactful, unless of course you get some early game kills and then all of a sudden you're half a level ahead, then it's a different story. But now the blue team has a tiny advantage on this one, can use it at the top. But this is more of a problem, that they have an entire camp still pushing with the help of the temple. This fort is going to get destroyed. I mean 100%. This fort is gone. So that's great for the Raiders. It's a very, very nice start. Is it gone? I don't know if it's enough. Maybe not? Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're gonna destroy it soon, but still, this is a nice little lead. If you are in that spot, you're probably gonna be pretty happy with what you're looking at right now. Some shots fired over here in the middle, and to be absolutely fair to the red team, they're doing a bit better here than expected, particularly with them having the minion wave pushing in. So I really thought that it was the Raiders that were getting a massive advantage out of the first objective in regards to structures, but this is still fairly even. So this is not that big of a lead. Muradin also able to jump out, which was important here. Heavy impact on level 7. Blizzard still fat-shaming the dwarf. Still fat-shaming the dwarf. Honestly, if they wanted to be a little bit more politically correct, they should call it light as a feather. Muradin isn't fat. He doesn't have a heavy impact. When he jumps in, it's not that the earth quakes and everything is just getting shaken out. No, he's light as a feather. He's beautiful the way that he is. But honestly, I don't want to know his BMI. I mean, he's not really the tallest guy either, so he is probably gonna... He's a double whopper and a half. So yeah, heavy impact is probably aptly named. He should honestly do some damage when he jumps on you. Like some more damage. Whenever when he comes in, there should be some more damage. Like you see with stage dive, you know? Yeah, he jumps and then Jojo immediately stunned up. Do you guys remember when you could actually stun people with that shit? That was insane. Muradin just jumping around like a madman, particularly after level 20 with rewind and doing just work. It was kind of bonkers. So yeah, now at the bot lane, even more pressure being executed by the Raiders as they're going in for another quick attack here. Yeah, seems like Chen is barely getting out, but the fort gets destroyed, and this is now the second one where they're getting ahead. So they get the early level 10, they're able to play around with it a bit. They take out the fort at the top, they take out the fort at the bottom of the map. So I gotta give it to the Raiders. They are really trying to ensure that this is gonna go to 3 maps here. Match point for Team Ash, but right now they are just trailing and trying to catch up. In experience, the team is doing way, way better at this point. Yeah, half of a level lead, as is. And now a few more shots fired thanks to that bottom temple that have currently been taken here. So they're doing all they can now to just gain momentum. Maintain the momentum, build up the avalanche, and really get some work done on this. So down at the bottom of the map, the attempt, of course, from Team Ash to just push them back and get some shots themselves. But it doesn't really change the fact that they have to win a few team fights if they really want to bring this in. Now, the thing is that we don't have a kill yet in this game. We're already 6.5, nearly 7 minutes in, and we haven't seen a single kill yet. So, well, and there it is. Okay. Alright. So, finally they come in. Caster Curse, you know, the second that I mentioned it, of course it had to happen. So, they came in, they get the hit, and they take down Urel. But that's also a kill in favor of the Raiders. So, after game number 1 was a little bit one-sided, and Team Ash really dominating the run of the game. Now that we are in game number 2, the situation changes slightly. With a 1-level lead, a structure advantage and a kill advantage, it seems like the Raiders are just pulling more heavily ahead here. So yeah, me likey. So, if they can build on that, then we might be in for a series that goes the distance. Ixie on the other hand, well, Urel has to pull her ult, okay, and might still die. Let's try to get out of the fight here, but gets still followed up on. And they're trying to go over here also quickly for Cassia, and with another Stormbolt, they might be able to get her, but it is Urel that jumps in and finishes the job. Muradin survives, and maybe they can go instead for Sonya. Does he have a Stormbolt available? Nope, and they also really need to hightail it out of there. It's too much damage. It's a 5 versus 4, but it's still rough. They tried to go for White Mane, Ana with a pew-pew the entire time. Stormbolt misses because of the time trap. Oh, that kind of sucks. That would have been neat for them. If they could have gotten another kill here, that would have been great. Now, they're fighting without level 13 Talons, keep that in mind. So the blue team, they have an advantage, or they had one, but now that White Mane is gone, they don't even have the support any longer in this fight. Disc is out, Ana gets trapped, Chen still safe, and Sonya is dead. Team Ash, back to business. Haven't closed the experience gap completely, but boy are they gaining some momentum. They're definitely starting to look better here all of a sudden. Seems like they have finally found a way into this game. So good on them. Nicely done. Job well played. And that gives them another camp. Couldn't capitalize with a temple grab because there was nothing up yet. But I don't know. I was honestly for a moment considering that maybe the boss might have been an option, but the death timers are still a bit too low. We're only at the 9-minute mark, so highly unlikely that it could have had an impact there. Now we got 18,000 damage for Cassia as the top damage on the blue team side. Chromie is reigning supreme for Team Ash with 24k to her name. And teams again making their plays here. Now in order to come to structures in the middle of the map, that fort is still very, very low. Chen is able to jump out here. Muradin gets dissed on the other hand, and he might die. I guess he has to at least pop Avatar, yep. And he gets some assistance from Ana. Alright, so the Pew 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 is there. Gets an assist for that. Up at the top with the camp and everything pushing. Still a chance to take at least this fort out, but the temples are now also firing away. The problem that really exists for Team Ash is that the bottom temple is taking aim to their keep already, and as you can get, this is gonna become a mad problem for them in the long run. Because if they don't contest this, then they're gonna lose keeps. Catapults are gonna push even further. There's still a fort on the map for the raiders, so they have done some significant damage, Team Ash. But it's just not enough to catch up with the other team yet. And Morena's over here, he's gone. So Chen's gone. And yeah. It is very likely gonna come back to a fight around the boss eventually. The question is just at what point. And as Muradin jumps out, the boss has already been triggered. Renella is trying to save Muradin, should be able to pull that off too. But since they just wasted some of their time, they can't really go for the boss now. 14 seconds on Chen is just not enough for them to reliably take it, particularly since he still has his keg up. So that's something you don't want to face off against when you're in a situation like this. Now down at the bottom of the map, obviously, all of this is still continuing too, as we have them come in with one play after another to take some siege giants away. Another kill attempt is happening. And honestly, Ixia is in trouble. And he's in real trouble. The disc is saving the day for the support. Muradin might now be the one to get targeted here. And yep, he just gets destroyed. But there was a chance for Team Ash to get a kill and maybe even two. The issue is, as usual, that when you're going up against an opponent that has a talent advantage over you, you find yourself in just, yeah, in trouble. It's not really easy to play through that. And this happened multiple times now to Team Ash. Blue team follows up with the boss. Now it's 16 versus 16, but this is one-way street Heroes of the Storm right now. There's some structures finally destroyed by Team Ash, but still, if you're just looking at the flow of the game, it just continuously pressures Team Ash. Now they're going with another disc for Chen this time. Chromie is trying to create some space. Ana is there for the heals. Muradin is back, so they can defend here. But the chances of them defending their keep are pretty much none. Like, how? Against the boss and a 5-man push, this just isn't happening. And the next objective is at the bottom of the map. Maybe a kill or two. That would at least be nice. But of course, there's also the chance that the blue team is now locking in another kill and is all of a sudden going for the core straight away. Ult has already been used from Urel. Cassia is dead. That's good news. If they can get at least Sonya here, maybe even Ixer, they're trying. They let the boss slide for now. They want... good dodge on the disc. They want the healer and they get her. Boss is hammering away at the shield, but they want to get as much out of this as they possibly can. So yes, there's going to be a little bit of damage on the core. But if they can get another kill here, and they can. Sonya goes down. They're still jumping on this. Should probably try and take that fort down. Muradin still hoping for another Storm Bolt. And this time he hits it. But Chen isn't here anymore. Muradin is alone and will have to fall back. Now they're going to capture the temple. Maiev... What? How did Maiev still die to Muradin? Heh? She was pretty much out already. So that's another staggered death, which is annoying. But there's not a lot up on the map for the red team to take. They've taken the lead in experience, which is big. But they won't be able to take this entire keep down at the bottom of the map. And that's a little bit of a problem, because again, their own is gone. And their core is at 97% right now. So those are a few of the things that still have to be considered here. But they have now 7 kills to 3. So this game isn't over. This is still a chance where they might be able to turn this with an early level 20. And then more temples that they can get. Now the bottom keep has not been destroyed, as expected. But let's see what exactly they can do if they are able to get level 20 first. Maybe then they have a chance. Maybe there's an opportunity there then. structurally, it's... I mean, again, there is a difference. The problem is really that bottom keep missing. And we'll see what happens with the next objective. But for now, it's all about camps. There's not as much on the map. Our last mercenary camp is about to be taken by bishops. And, yeah. Just keep our eye on Chen a bit too. But they're grabbing level 20 first. There's still vision on the map on multiple of the heroes. So they're actually coming in here. They want the keep with level 20. At least that seems to be what they're aiming for here. So they're pushing in very, very quickly, trying to flank this a little bit. Disc is already out. There's the tether. Rel is fine. Sonya isn't here. She's currently taking a camp. And they are still hoping to push this harder. But the defense was there so quickly, so swiftly, that they just decided to fall back a bit further. And they realized also that Sonya wasn't there, so that's why they went for the camp at the top and sought to interrupt there. But she took it just in the nick of time. Double Temple is coming up next, by the way. And here's level 20. That gives us rewind again. Chen goes full ingredients the entire time. Anna upgraded her Eye of Horrors. But it's both teams that have Storm Talons now. So not a big disadvantage for the Raiders. They are still ahead in the game. And now it just comes down to the next big fight. Because that's what essentially is going to happen here. A battle for shots on those two temples. And the fight itself for the actual victory of the game. And for those temples. It's all about who wins the next big team fight, supposedly. Blue team probably has a bit more security there, even if they lose a team fight. Unless they lose the entire team, they should have some time. Urel, okay, yeah, she's in real trouble. Needs to get the ult out, and just did. Jumps back out and is able to escape. Blessed Shield nearly hit her there. Nearly got caught by that. Is not quite out of it yet, by the way. So they still want her. Actually, the tenacity that we're seeing from the blue team is kind of insane. They still think they can claim her, and they might get the kill now. I like that they're this diligent around it, and Urel is indeed dead. So Urel is gone. The Raiders just not letting up on this. They wanted the kill, they got it. Chen gets shot after shot fired in the meantime, but will have to back off, and the remaining shots are going to get claimed by the red team. He was trying to go for all of them, couldn't quite. So yes, keeps here have taken damage, but just not enough. Svamgroda gets attacked. I mean, they're hoping just to somehow get a kill. And of course, they're wasting the time of Johanna a bit too. Chen still attempting to jump out here. Do they have another disc available? Another tether? Disc is out, alright, and Chen should be dead. I mean, Chen is likely going to fall, and if he dies now before Urel comes back, then they're down to 3 heroes. Too many staggered deaths here. They can go for boss again, and with that boss, they're going to go for game. So this is looking more and more like we're going to go to game number 3. I don't think that Team Ash is going to be able to bring this one back. I mean, how would they? They don't have Chen, they don't have Urel. Boss is already at 50% HP. Urel likely not going to make it there in time. And what we're seeing instead, I don't have anything. Like, how are you winning this? And the answer is you just don't. Murden, he's trying, he's doing his best, but he has to jump out as well. They're still getting chased here. The disc is out again. Boss is already up on lane. And that should be it. Murden is gone. And guys, we're going to game number 3. Unless there's an absolute disaster happening now for the Raiders, this is a 3-mapper. Me likey. So, seems like we're going to get a bit more action. And seems like the Raiders have also stepped it up enough to force a third game. Catapults galore already. Lining up perfectly. And yeah, cool. I like it. 3-mapper. Let's go. I'm all here for it. Give me that third map and let's see what kind of team compositions they're coming up with this time. GG. Well played. The Raiders avoid the loss and go to the third map of the series. Alright, game number 3. Let's go. We have a 3-mapper. Final map. Meaning we have 32 heroes that are now banned. 20 have been played, 12 are pre-banned. And with that, we are guaranteed... No, actually, we're not quite guaranteed to have crazy drafts right now because this is a best of 3 series. And the best of 5 would be a little bit different if that went to 5 maps. But we're guaranteed that the teams have to think outside of their comfort zone at least a little bit. Not sure if I mentioned it in this series, but since the question keeps popping up, I'll explain it also once again. So we actually provide the teams with an Excel sheet where they can see which heroes are still available. But most of the teams by now, because we ran Meta Madness so many times already, have their own either Word document, Excel sheet, or whatever else it is, where they can then track what's still available so that they are not running into any problems there. And of course, if the hero accidentally gets picked who is not supposed to be picked, the draft gets restarted, and up to the point we're doing the exact same things, the same picks and bans and so on and so forth. So that's kind of how the entire system works. Usually we don't run into problems where people click the wrong hero. Sometimes somebody accidentally does a misclick, but it happens maybe once every 2 or 3 tournaments, if so. At least in the games that I'm casting so far. So, as is, we got Greymane banned and a Nubarak. So a lot of the really good heroes that are still out there are now getting banned away. Medivh being one of them. Yep. Nano has, of course, also played quite a bit of Medivh on this map. So they're gonna shut him down early on. And yeah, I mean, Sven has still a couple of options to be annoying. We might at one point run out of... Nah, we're not running out of side laners, but we might definitely be a little more limited on it. And they are banning out a lot of the top tier picks here. So not only is Junkrat getting the axe, but also Greymane. You can really tell how priorities are shifting quickly, since teams are now going for a Garrosh first pick. Now, Garrosh is obviously good for the Raiders for multiple reasons. First of all, there are less and less top frontline picks available. There's still a few. But also, Johan is, yeah, his Garrosh is pretty solid. It's one of his best, for sure. So that explains the first pick priority that they have on this. And we get Alexstrasza together with Mephisto. I don't even remember. I don't think Stitches has been played yet. I want to see Stitches now. Stitches and Alexstrasza and just go full Globe Talons. And then just delay, get Stitches to 13,000 hit points and make him unkillable. Like, if you're already going Alexstrasza and you're really looking for someone to play at the front line, Stitches might be a good option for them. So, curious to see if that's what happens here. But what first occurs is the Raiders locking in Zarya. So we get Garrosh and Zarya plus Malfurion. Speed bubble on level 4 and then full race car. Absolutely here for it. Yeah, definitely can't wait. It is always fun. Particularly if you then have a route somewhere, Malfurion, and Garrosh just moves in, throws the target into the route, and then you have the damage to follow up on that. Opaga and Mephisto is always quite nice. And they're banning Zul'jin. I would have loved to see Zul'jin instead of getting him banned, but I mean, hey. Zul'jin was played once so far in the tournament? Once? Twice? I think twice, actually. But yeah, in this one, he's the one that gets the axe. So, they're banning on Imperials here. You can clearly see that they paid attention. They also watched the games that were played previously by Team Ash and know pretty well what exactly they need to ban out here, or what at least Team Ash is going to look forward to. So... but yeah. Particularly, okay, there's Deathwing and they have D.Va. Deathwing as a main tank, maybe. Following in the footsteps of Nick a little bit. I love the D.Va pick already. D.Va pick is already fun. I'm still a little bit sad that we're not going to see that Stitches Alexstrasza combo, but to be honest, that was never really a thing. This gets played in ARAMs a bit, and every now and then in a Blue Moon, every 1,000 Meta Madness games or so, you might have a chance to see this out. It's not really a thing that really gives you victory. So if your goal is winning, not really the biggest priority. But it's fun. Honestly, it wouldn't be fun to watch now either because of the Observer UI that we gotta use there, so that's that. But okay, so we got Nano playing Gul'dan now. And what are we getting from Bishops as the final pick here? We already have one mage, we got Mephisto over here, we got some heals, and we finally get another Zeratul. Alright, Infernal Shrines, the final map in the best of 3 series. Match point, let's see which team drops down into the losers bracket and which team moves on to the winner bracket final. Let's go. Game number 3, Raiders against Ash, and well, it gets interesting. We got Nano on Gul'dan in a Fellflame build, Swarmgrotta with Malthael, Sven is playing Malfurion, And we got X here on Zarya with Johan on Garrosh. So to the right side of the map, Team Ash, as they are hoping to lock in another W, with Renella going for Alexstrasza, and as expected, the Circle of Life. We have Morenas on Deathwing, we got Shizakid on D.Va, Bishops with Zeratul. At least somebody is gonna... actually, he's not gonna capitalize on the globes here, if we're honest about it. By that time, he should already be done. Muscle memory is kicking in every single time at the beginning of the game because I always open that tunnel panel up and then I'm just looking at it obstructing a third of the screen and I'm just like, ugh. So, yeah. But okay, so again, Lopaka, he's playing Mephisto. And it will be more... Oh! Also, look at that, we get Feel the Heat for Zarya on level 1. So already adjusting the build slightly for some added damage here. Bishops on Zeratul is going to be one of the big question marks. If he's able to do a lot of damage and really get those kills and the pressure against the backline, that would be probably the thing that wins them the game. But right now, they are up against somebody that can just siege to no end with their composition thanks to Garrosh and Zarya. And that will make at least the early and mid game pretty difficult to deal with. So, for the time being, we have up at the top, Bishops still doing his thing here, collecting a couple of extra globes, of course, as well, to complete his quest. Whereas the camps at the bottom of the map are being stolen away now. Blue team doing exactly what they're supposed to do. The Raiders being aggressive right from the get-go, trying to make sure that they are in full control of this game, that they are dictating the pace at which it's going, and also which fights are happening here. And even the Khazras are doing some work, nearly taking down one of the towers. And with a bit of help from Ixir, they could definitely take it completely. So, as it stands, Zeratul still moving, still trying to get some additional globes here, locks another one in for himself. Next objective, first one, is going to get announced in roughly 40 seconds. And then, of course, it's going to be that endless race towards level 7 that both of the teams are going to participate in an attempt to get the lead for the first Punisher. Speed barrier is up, and this is where Johan gets all of that movement speed. So now Garrosh is going to be a much bigger threat. Deathwing doesn't really care too much, obviously. And I suppose Zeratul doesn't care as much either. But whoever else is being hit, particularly Alexstrasza and Mephisto, are not going to have a fun time with this. With D.Va, it's always a bit of a question, can you burn her down quickly or not? But I like the way that Team Ash has been drafting this. So Garrosh, he will always have an impact when he is paired off with Zarya, as you can see here already. But they are trying to limit that as best they can by drafting a couple of heroes that will deal with it well. Then again, as I just said, if Mephisto gets caught, exactly this happens. He doesn't stand a chance. He gets destroyed. And of course, it just gets made worse by the fact that they now are taking down a fort just as the game starts. So yeah, here we are, everybody. We have started this with a victory for Team Ash on the first map. And the Raiders, they didn't look good in the first game. And then everything changed. Game number 2, a lot more back and forth. Raiders looking very strong and definitely stepping it up. And now in game number 3... they're following the same trend. So whatever was missing in game number 1, I personally expect that it was caffeine. They definitely have it now. The early level 7, they have a level lead. Gul'dan goes for also some of the Saki talents on level 4 at least, but no full commitment here by him either. We have even... they have all the advantages on the first objective now. Team Ash moved in a little bit. You can try to play double dragon over here, I suppose, and go for chicken wing plus dragon form on Alexstrasza. But if we're honest about it, this first objective is definitely going to go to the blue team, because the Raiders, they are so far ahead in experience thanks to that push at the bottom of the map and the kill that they got, that there's just no way to get that talent in time for Team Ash. They barely get it for defense, and that wall is already destroyed. They're even killing D.Va. I mean, this is not looking good at all. Your early game is falling apart. That's what's happening. Early game is falling way apart here. Now, keep in mind, this is the second fort that gets attacked. They already lost one. One fort has already been destroyed. So if they're able to take another one out here, that would be an absolute nightmare. Morenas makes it out, but he nearly died in this one. And now Renella gets murdered, so Alexstrasza is gone. Zeratul is not looking too hot either, and he might get murdered by Nano, is able to move out thanks to the fountain that he quickly tapped. But this is fort number 2 destroyed, so the passive experience gains alone are going to be a total disaster for Team Ash. They are, I mean, this is a 1.5 level lead as we are entering level 10 territory. So the Raiders, they are already breaking through the wall down here. They get another kill. Jesus! Holy hell! Raiders are moving through Team Ash like hot butter through cheese. They're melting them away one after another. They are turning into a puddle like ice cream in the sun as level 10 abilities are now ready. And Team Ash is just struggling to even hold their keep. Guys, we're 5 minutes into this game. 5 minutes. The keep has taken damage. That's where we're at right now. 2 forts are gone. Fort in the middle is getting attacked too and is now losing hit point. Might even fall as they are continuing the play thanks to the level 10 abilities that they have here. This is insane. I mean, death times are pretty much non-existent. There's a Horrify and, well, that's another kill. D.Va is gone again. So, unless Team Ash somehow... I don't even know what they can do here. They need level 10 first before they can do anything else. I mean, if you're Team Ash, then you're currently praying that the Raiders are losing their internet connection. Send a spy over to pluck the cable or something. Hope that the internet connection drops so that the electricity goes out. But this is pretty much the only thing that can still win you the game here. I don't want to overdo it, but like this is what it currently looks like. So we'll see if they bring it back after they have level 10. But even when they hit level 10, the blue team will already be level 12? So, yeah. This is all happening before the 10-minute mark. And before level 10 hits for Team Ash. And it is just a nightmare. Maybe with level 10, Bishops can start to get some kills. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So they go for Guldana. Now they have level 10. Finally, they have a couple of moves they can make. And maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe that will be enough to give them I mean, any kind of foothold in this game. Anything. Because they've been struggling ever since this game started. Now that they're on level 10 with Zeratul, if Bishops plays absolutely out of his mind, who knows? Maybe they can do something. So, yeah, Bishop still getting attacked here, but poking the best that he can. D.Va is already up at the top, defending that. And, yeah, holding on to the lane for them. Next objective is going to be insanely important. And they are in luck because the next objective spawns in the middle. And both teams still have a fort standing there, meaning both teams still have a fountain there. So that is one of the saving graces for Team Ash right now. Yeah, not cutting it close at all, Gul'dan, are you? Gul'dan gone, Zeratul still alive, but he is not gonna make it. Bishops dies, he got the kill, but he dies shortly after. And Deathwing, he made it out. Was a bit close, but yeah. There's level 13. This is the big problem if you're falling this far behind in the early game. You're always trailing, you're always trying to catch up, and it's never really happening. So now they have to fight for the Punisher, or they're going to lose the fort in the middle. Zeratul is back in a moment. I mean, him and Gul'dan are roughly going to arrive at the same time. So it's a 4 versus 4 now. But this is a battle that they need to win, or where they at least need to get a few more kills. Which might be possible for them, but it is still tricky. So D.Va in trouble, gets taunted, and that's a kill. D.Va is down again. I mean, she's just an oversized minion in this game. Whenever she drops out of the mech, she's insta-gone. But at least they are able to get kills with Zeratul. Bishops does a lot, but he also is so low! And he dies. They're following him beautifully. And now that they take Deathwing down, it's a 3-for-1 trade in favor of the Raiders. And this is just too good for them. Last rights get wrecked. And, well, that's an Arcane Punisher right here. Ixia is doing a stellar job following Zeratul whenever he engages. Zeratul comes in, gets his kill against Gul'dan, and the team is absolutely on point, chasing him down, keeping track what he is still available, what his options are, where he can go, and they cover all their bases. So no matter how good Bishops plays it at this point, he's always ending up being chased down and killed. That happened now 2-3 times. And as long as he doesn't make it out of the fight, they are in trouble. So all forts are now gone. And there's half a level until 16. Deathwing is jumping in deep. The Keep is taking damage. You go for D.Va again. Deathwing is dead. So is Zarya, but they're losing D.Va too. So with that, we now have level 16 in their hands, and it is a 4 versus 3 on the map. They would love that Keep. There's also the one at the top that they can still go for. Lots of damage on that Keep, but they're not stressing it yet. Felflame build on Gul'dan is just continued. They got the minion waves here that they can still escort over. And it's 2 levels until Team Asher's level 16. 2 levels that they have to claim. Oh boy, I mean, talk about an uphill battle, right? I don't really see how they can make that work. I really don't see it. 2 levels is just too much to bridge. By the time that they're on level 16, the Raiders are probably hitting level 18. Meaning, we're talking 20 shortly after. Even if the blue team decides to just play it a bit safer at that point, yeah. Damage output, to give you a bit of an idea, 40,000 for Zarya. She's top damage in the game. I mean, by a lot. Look at how Ixia is crushing the numbers. 40,000. He's top damage in the game. Not just on his team, in the game at this point. Gul'dan is only at 27, but he also died 3 times. Zeratul coming in as 3rd highest damage dealer on the red team with 19,000, 27,000 for Deathwing. Puts the dragon into the number 2 slot after Mephisto. But yeah, they are setting this up again through the middle. Still hoping to get some extra damage in. Good move by Zeratul also to use his mobility to jump behind them and take some of these minion waves out as quickly as he can. This makes sure that the pressure is just getting minimized as best as they can. But the attacks there, they are still coming here. So in the middle, yeah, they're going for it. Up at the top, camp gets pushed in. Shaman camp down at the bottom of the map. It's some Khazras. As long as they don't have 16, they're still willing to poke this a bit further. But at least Team Ash is able to close that gap towards the 16 talent tier. And this is maybe their last chance in this game. Now that they have level 16 any second, they can try and fight. Hold those keeps a little bit longer, wait for the next objective, and take the fight with level 16. And don't lose anybody! Not like this! Oh boy, 1 down, but at least Zeratul got a kill on Mephisto, on Malthael. Problem is that Zeratul again at the bottom of the map just got checked out. They always do it. Zeratul does amazing battles against 1, 2, 3 heroes, gets a kill, and then they chase him down and kill him. So now it's again a 4 versus 3. So Bishops, he's really trying to do what he can, but it's just not going to be enough. Top 4, top keep, all gets destroyed here. This one's gone. In the middle, they're still pressuring. Shrine is activating in 7, but they're trying to get more kills before that even happens. They nearly got D.Va there. Still hoping to take that keep out. With a bit of additional poke, they would be able to pull it off, but they don't even have to. They're just going back for the Shrine. It's a Mortar Punisher that comes in next, and they are just looking so strong here. Bishops is probably a bit frustrated. He's getting his kills. He really is. But they're chasing him down every time. They're there every time, and they're just saying, nope. You're not just gonna walk away with a kill here. If you kill someone, you die for it. Your team isn't here to help you out, so you go down. They go again for Deathwing, and with last rites, he gets killed. Deathwing is gone. Deathwing is turning into Deadwing in this game. He's doing a lot of dying. So, yeah, definitely needs a rename. That chicken wing is getting crunched every single battle. There's the Horrify. Alexstrasza put out the Dragon Queen. They're trying to win this one, but it hasn't happened yet. So, another hit, another attack. Shizakid gets nearly crushed there too, but they can't quite get the kill. And now what we're seeing instead is Malfurion fall. So maybe a chance after all. Bishops, now that the support is gone, does he have a chance to take Nano down again? Ixia is on him. Mortar Punisher is taken. If they at least get some kills, they have a chance. But nope. That's Mephisto eliminated. They go for bishops again, and yep, he is gonna get crushed eventually. This is not looking good. Alexstrasza is now gone. Zeratul, it's still the Great Escape. Zeratul with the Great Escape is moving out. But of course, there's a flip as he was trying to come in for it. Let's be honest, he knew that this is not gonna happen any longer. So as it stands, that is likely gonna be the end of things. So yep, job well done. Job well done by them, and this is victory. Victory for the Raiders. I mean, kudos to them. They brought it back. They were able to win this one after they were totally destroyed in game number 1. And now they are the ones to make the big move here. They take another keep down. The one in the middle can be taken at their will if they want to. Zarya seems to be eager to destroy the final structure as well. But of course, the outcome of the game is at this point inevitable. It is the Raiders that are winning this one. They have now 19 kills, 2-7. Another last right kill against Deathwing. He died 4 times. 5 deaths on D.Va. We have 5 deaths on Mephisto. 85% right now on their core. And with Malfurion back to business and getting the heals with Tranquility out, this is just going to be the end of it. 44%, last keep still standing, everybody's moving in, only 3 defenders, and yep, doesn't matter how much they struggle, they're gonna go down here. They go for Alexstrasza, try and take Renella down, another Fell Flame hits hard and destroys her, and now more catapults are joining the fight and are taking the core down. The Raiders, they take the series with a 2-1 victory and move on to the winner bracket final. Nicely done, well played, and GG.